Hey there. I'm coming today to talk to you about the single biggest joy killer in relationship. And it's this really subtle thing that we have to watch, tune our senses to, and take care of moment by moment. And I'm actually inspired to talk about this because I was watching a clip of Jordan Peterson. He was actually talking about free speech and totalitarianism. But what he said applies so beautifully to relationship, all kinds of relationships, and particularly intimate partnership. So the crux of what he articulated so beautifully is that people give up their right to be. They falsify their being bit by bit, and they end up someplace they don't want to be. And so what this made me think of is the way in each moment of particularly intimate partnership, but also our friendships, our work relationships, our family relationships, and sometimes even with strangers, we make choices to, first of all, we can go too fast and not notice what our honest response is. So sometimes it's a case of just not going slow enough to love ourselves and or even, I mean, we want to love ourselves, but we don't realize how we're skipping over and ignoring and overlooking what our honest experience is. So that's number one, going too fast. Number two is that we can have ideas about what we should do to be loved. So, for instance, I was in a conversation with my sweetheart, who I have a remote relationship with at this point, and we're texting loving texts back and forth, and I'm feeling joy to be with him. But then I had a moment where I felt less joy, and I realized it's because I slipped into a tiny little pocket of should. Like he said, I love you, and I'm like, I love you too, like I should say. But that's a tiny, tiny moment of falsifying being. It's not about falsifying. The question is not, are we falsifying our uh, how we generally feel? Because I generally love him, right? But it's about falsifying being or not falsifying being. And it's a very, very fine line to stay in that pocket and allow yourself to just be. Don't give up your right to be, to actually breathe, slow down, relax, and find what is the honest thing you have to say. So some people struggle in relationship being honest because they've spent so long not being honest. When you're not honest, when you let moments go by where you don't actually say what is your natural truth inside the zone of your being, then what happens is misunderstanding starts to build up and emotional pressure starts to build up. When we feel emotional pressure inside, that's when we start to project onto our partner and we start to say, it's your fault, what you're doing. If you did something different, then I would feel better, or that would fix the way that I'm feeling inside if you did something different. But that's only because we built up emotional pressure and we didn't track how it happened. But I'm telling you, the way it happened was that we had several moments where we weren't paying attention to our honest feeling inside and then honoring that. We were falsifying our being, building up emotional pressure, and then projecting it onto our partner. So if you've gotten to a place in your relationship where it's scary to be honest, because when you're honest, it ends up creating conflict. It means that there's a knot of emotional pressures that have built up, and it has to be untied, like you would untie a knot. And the way to untie it is with the understanding of where peace exists inside yourself, where self-care exists inside yourself, and where you are checking out on those things. As you start to find how to unravel your own ways of overlooking yourself, you'll come into a peace inside yourself, and it will be so easy to be with your partner and be honest with your partner without creating conflict or challenge. That whole process is what I specialize in helping people with. And if you would like some help with that, I would love to share with you what I have to offer you. So if you're interested, then send me a message that says untangle. Send me a DM, untangle, and I will share with you exactly how you can learn the most amazing approach that has transformed my life to help untangle those knots and open up the freedom and authenticity and joy of honesty and self-care in your relationship, which will in turn open intimacy and passion. So DM me. Now I forgot what I said. Untangle. That's it. And I'll be sure to get that information to you. Okay. Have a great day.